Check, check. There we go. We got sound. My God. My God. No, Twitch, I don't know what's going on with my streaming software, guys. OBS did an update, and is there even any point? Is there any point in me defending myself at this point? You guys know how it is. There's always something that goes wrong on the stream here. Anyways, let's dive into it. Let's take a look at the king of all crypto and the rest of the market health as well. All right, so we're starting off big picture. We're coming up, we're about 13 minutes out from the weekly close. So we're going to start off taking a look at the weekly chart. And I just want to talk about the macro picture. Bitcoin follows a cycle to cycle. It's not going to be exact, but it's going to be similar. There is a euphoric rally. There is a depressing drawdown. And then there's a period of flat that we come out of. Okay. And I just want to point out some key levels here that I think are very important to take note of. And we're going to start things off with the previous cycle's all-time high. So I'm going to mark down the all-time high. All-time high there, and the all-time high. This isn't technically an all-time high. This is just the first impulse, okay? So this was a dead cat bounce. Even though we made a new high here, that was a dead cat bounce. So that's how I'm reading the cycles. This is what I mean. They're not always going to be exactly the same. But you had the euphoric rise into the first blow off top. Euphoric rise into the first blow off top. Then we come down to the reaction zone. So the reaction zone came all the way down here. Very violent, quick reaction zone. And we're going to go down to this reaction zone right here. Follow me so far? Now we're going to observe price as it interacts with these levels. Let's actually do red for the previous cycle, and we'll do green for this cycle. That's not a very helpful green. Let's go with blue. We'll do blue for this cycle. All right. So price held above, capitulated below, got the green diamond, and then price spent 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks consolidating under that level. Okay. Now we come down, green diamond marking the low, consolidation below, and then came up to it, tapped it once, and now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks. We're about to close the 4th week, coming into the 5th week of a consolidation around that 30K level. You know, again, it's not going to be exact, but this 30K resistance, this $31,000, $32,000 area is causing us a lot of resistance, and we keep getting rejections. Every time we come above it, we get slammed back down. So the bears are certainly present at $32,000. Now, the bulls are also present at anything below 30. So we're kind of in a bull flag scenario here. Now, what happened once we got above this? Once we got above it, where did we come up to? We came up to the close of the week after the all-time high euphoria. So let me go back here and mark that level. So we had the all-time high euphoria blow off top, and then the close of the week after. That's where we came up to in this cycle. Back here. Once we broke past the $6,000 resistance, we got up to that resistance. Now, back up here, this would give us a target for present day of around $49,000. So if this is to play out move by move, which again, it doesn't necessarily have to, it can come up short, it can go past, but the general target is going to be somewhere around that $50,000 level. If we can break past this $32,000 resistance, okay? Alphanumerics is green. The bias is bullish. We're looking at this from a bullish point of view. We're looking through this as we're looking at this through a bullish lens. So now that the context is out of the way, let me delete all these drawings, and let's dive into the analysis on the smaller time frames. Now that we have the rationale for context, so I'm going to go down to the 4-hour. And there's a few things to note here. First of all, keeping it real simple, we're looking at a bull flag. Okay. It's an ugly bull flag, but it's a bull flag nonetheless. Okay. It's a bull flag that shows a lot of characteristics of distribution. As you can see here, we got an upthrust here. We have an upthrust here. We have an upthrust here. Okay. But we never really had a sign of weakness. We never had a candle close below this level here at around 29.8. And so we don't have a significant sign of weakness yet. That doesn't mean that this can't resolve as a distribution. It just means that we're consolidating. That's what Bitcoin does. It impulses and it consolidates. It impulses and it consolidates. Until you have a high amount of volume in the market, until you have a lot of trading activity in the market, you need to expect this kind of behavior where there's a whole lot of nothing and then all of a sudden there's an impulse. The impulse can be up, the impulse can be down. But when we're in this type of market environment, you're in a bear market. Nobody cares about crypto. Nobody cares about Bitcoin. It's still very niche. It's still very fringe. And you just don't have the volume that you get when the cycle progresses into the next stage of the bull run. I think we're in phase 1 of the bull run. So this is the accumulation phase. This is where the smart money starts to get in. This is where a lot of the fundamentals begin to build. You know, we're seeing all of the development as a result of Taproot. We're seeing ordinal inscriptions and that whole ecosystem blossom. So I've said it before and I'll say it again. The bottom is in for Bitcoin. That 15.5 was the bottom for Bitcoin. We're now sitting 100% up from that at $30,000, waiting to break up to potentially $50,000. Now, phase 1 of the bull market has a lot of time where we trade sideways, and it's boring. Okay, so you do need to be anticipating that type of action. And if you're actively trading alts, just do be careful. Keep your time preference really, really low if you're scalping alts, because when we take a look at Bitcoin dominance is still in an upwards trend. So let's go over here to the weekly on Bitcoin dominance. Let's turn off alphanumerics just for a moment. We just broke out of this sideways trading environment and we're coming in for our backup here on Bitcoin dominance. So do be careful if we get a bounce off of the top of the range here and begin to rally up to higher levels, getting us up into the 60 zone. It's not going to be a favorable environment for trading altcoins. Maybe some oversold bounces, some quick scalps, but if you're accumulating for the long run, you do not want to be in altcoins in that type of environment. Giving me PTSD of the BART pattern. Yeah, so let's kind of dissect that that comment, Chris. What is a BART? What is a BART? Okay. Let's take a look at Bitcoin again. A BART is basically, it is the consequence of an illiquid market. You know, when you have green candles, everybody thinks that just people are buying Bitcoin, and that's not the case. If the market price of Bitcoin is $30,000 right now, and let's say I decide to buy Bitcoin at 35, and the whole market agrees that I bought it for 35, then the candle is instantaneous. It's an instantaneous candle. Boom, up to here. This is the new price. And then you begin to consolidate. So this is the whole impulse and consolidation thing of Bitcoin. The participation is very, very low. So anytime there's an impulse, it's just the market readjusting price. It's like, okay, we're trading sideways, we're doing nothing. This is the price of Bitcoin. This is what the market says. Okay, we're going up. And then we can consolidate. And then maybe the market decides, you know what? No, that's not the price of Bitcoin. We're going down. And then you get that classic BART pattern. Okay, it's just a readjusting of the market in illiquid market conditions. So while you see BART patterns, just know that that means the volume's really low. Volume's really low, the market's very liquid. That's all a BART is. All right, let's take a look at ETH BTC, taking a look on the weekly. Still in a downtrend against Bitcoin. Now, this is what I'm talking about when it comes to, it's not altcoin season yet. Bitcoin dominance is on the rise, and ETH BTC is in a decline. When you look at the Ethereum chart, it's in an uptrend. So what are you talking about? Why is Ethereum no good? Why should I not be investing in alts? Well, you shouldn't be investing in alts because when you look at the performance of Bitcoin, which you can do when you look at a Bitcoin chart, it's in decline. So yes, Ethereum is increasing in value, but it is increasing in value at a slower rate than Bitcoin. So you should just be in Bitcoin. You're not going to make a single Satoshi trading Ethereum, trading your fiat for Ethereum right now. All right, going back over to Ethereum on the dollar pair. Very stark resistance here at around 1920. We need to get that clear break above 2000. The Ethereum fiat pair is actually a pretty clean chart. You can see this very easy to identify uptrend up against a horizontal resistance. This is an ascending triangle. Volatility is decreasing, volume is declining, and we're going to have a resolve. So if the resolve pops to the upside, then it's highly likely that this gets a continuation up to the $32,000 to $35,000 level for the price of Ethereum. If we get that breakout, wow, look at that line. Look at that wild and crazy line. So Ethereum, it's everything's primed. Everything's primed. That's kind of what I'm seeing in the markets right now. Is everything has a really bullish potential, and everything is not going to move until Bitcoin makes a decision. So until Bitcoin figures out its directional bias, figures out its direction, impulses out of the consolidation, we're not going to have an answer. But if Bitcoin gets above 32,000, the whole market's going to rally. The whole market's going to rally in a very big way, where the next resistance is always going to be at a very high, there's a very high distance between this consolidation range and the overhead resistance consolidation range. So it's going to get pretty exciting and exuberant. Now, is that going to be the beginning of the full-blown bull market? No, we're going to hit a ceiling. This is what will likely happen. We'll break out, we'll hit the ceiling, and we'll get a nasty reaction, maybe all the way down to the breakout point, and then we're going to trade sideways, and it's going to be boring again, okay? Now, is this an appropriate time to be accumulating? Yes, it's an extremely appropriate time to be accumulating. If we look at the BLX here, let's turn off alphanumerics, put away the RSI, go to log. On the weekly, and let's turn on our DCA regression band. You're in the green. Nobody cares. Nobody cares what price you're in. Like, you give this a year or two, nobody's going to care that you bought the potential tippy top of this range, because you're going to be out of the range and it's going to be a much higher level. Do you think anybody is questioning anybody for buying Bitcoin at 6K? Is anybody questioning anybody for buying Bitcoin at 8K? Or anybody buying at 3,700? No. When you're in this green band, it is the time to accumulate. So go mine some fiat, go work some double shifts and get involved here, because this is the accumulation zone. We're buying in the green, we're selling in the red. That's the big macro picture here. So back to the Ethereum chart. So Chris is saying a 15K bottom, where would you save money? If 15K bottom, where would you save money to buy spot at? Also, if big money finally want in, like BlackRock, wouldn't they move it lower to accumulate? They could potentially, and they could potentially not. Trying to make trades based off of the theoretical and borderline conspiracy theory behavior of these, institutional entities and what their plans are is extremely difficult to do, which is why we don't bother. We don't bother with that. We just look, what is the chart telling us? What is it doing? What is the current conditions of the strategy? What is it saying? What is it saying? When we go to Bitcoin, it's saying the wave is green, we're bullish. That's it. Let's not overcomplicate it. Let's not dive into the conspiracy theories too much. The wave is green, we're bullish. That's it. we can speculate all we want about BlackRock, this, that, and the other. If BlackRock is public at all, they already have a Bitcoin position. That's my stance. So BlackRock isn't getting in. BlackRock is in. BlackRock has the Bitcoin, and they're now creating the infrastructure to sell it as a product. That's what I think is going on. So they're already in, and they're going to bring in more as well as the demand comes in. But they need to have some to offer it as a product. So just what are the parameters? What do you need to see in the chart to make you bullish? What do you need to see in the chart to make you bearish? Now, spot buys, you already heard me say, we're buying spot. It's DCA time. You need to accumulate. That's it. Not financial advice, but historically speaking, the time to buy is now. Taking a look at the dollar, this is another indicator that that the market's looking good for risk on assets. Is we did get a break out of this symmetrical or this descending triangle here on the DXY. So DXY had a breakout impulse to the downside, breaking this consolidation, breaking this structure. So it's likely that we get continuation of the decline in the dollar. So currently at 99, whatever the index means in comparison to all the other currencies. But yeah, it's in the decline. It just broke a bearish pattern to the downside. That's a confirmation of a bearish pattern break. So the likely outcome is continued trend direction to the downside, which is going to be very good for equities. And we're already seeing that. So we can see the performance here in the SPY. SPY is just ticking away, making higher highs and higher lows every single day, just trending since we got past this resistance. It's been in a nice steady uptick. This is very typical behavior of the S&P. You can see back here, this is how it behaves, right? Just a steady tick to the upside, steady, 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 steady. Then it corrects and then steady, steady, steady. So are we looking at something like this potentially for the S&P? Just get another continuation of that trend. Potentially, this is the typical behavior. This is the modus operandi of the S&P 500. And I wouldn't be surprised to see that trend continue, especially given that we're seeing a decline in the DXY. Same thing over here in the NASDAQ. NASDAQ is trending steadily up and to the right. That's what you want. And, it has a very similar trend pattern to what we're seeing here. Now, when you zoom way out on these, there is a potential for a double top. You can see the kind of parabolic curve here of the NASDAQ. So the danger zone would be at the high of around 16,700 here on the NASDAQ. Let's go to the QQQ. 379 on the 408 on the QQQ. And so we do need to watch out for a double top. Now, if it breaks out past that, it's going to be yet another euphoric run. It's going to be an increased angle of attack of this parabolic curve that we're looking at here. You can see this angle of attack is low but bullish. This angle is increasing and bullish. Then it increases again, and we could be looking at it to increase again. And if it gets like that, it's going to be a silly blow-off top type scenario in the NASDAQ, which will trickle down into all risk on assets. So good, good, good. All right, now let's move on to gold. Boring old yellow rocks are butt up against the all-time high. Let's see if these boring old yellow rocks can get a breakout, but until it can get above 2,000, it's likely to just continue to trade sideways and consolidate. The narrative with gold is it's kind of a hedge against the dollar. It's a hedge against the performance of the economy. So if we do start to see the S&P rally and we do start to see the NASDAQ rally alongside it as well, then it's not hard to see a potential where this does begin to decline as people switch from these hedges, these capital preservation methods into more risk on stuff. All right, taking a look at Cardano. Cardano had some big announcement or something. Cardano has names now on the blockchain. Big whoop, and it was met with a big nothing burger. So taking a look at here on the daily, tried to get above its macro resistance, was unable to do so. The downtrend continues. Binance. The biggest scam in the market next to Hex is Binance. That's total speculation on my part. The biggest reason that I am throwing shade at Binance is just because of this market structure. Okay. Now let me explain myself. Basically, this thing just mooned. Okay. It mooned out of nowhere, and it built no market structure below whatsoever. Okay. That's not fishy. That's not strange. That's not what the concern is. The big concern is the fact that its retracement level from the market cycle peak to the market cycle low was minus 73%. Okay. When we go and look at Bitcoin from the market cycle high to the market cycle low, it was 77%. Okay. Bitcoin usually does 80% retracements, and all altcoins do 90 to 95% retracements. This is highly suspicious. This is very fishy. I think that Binance is propping up its coin. It's propping up its own coin with user funds pumping into BNB to hold it up, prop it up artificially beyond what the market should be allowing. So if they continue to do that, then maybe this line is defended. Maybe we're able to hold this level right around $200 to $250 per BNB. If it is unable to continue with this funny business and the market actually realizes a fair market price here, then we could be looking at 183 for the next kind of support level. And then below that, like I said, on the way up, it built absolutely no structure. So don't be surprised if it goes to $48, which I've been called crazy many, many times for calling $48 on BNB. Maybe I am. I'm just kind of explaining my thought process, and it's just those fundamentals. There's funny business going on with the price. I think the market's being made for BNB artificially, and no structure was built on the way up. That's it. That's really the extent of my conspiracy theory on BNB. So we'll see how this pans out. But with a break below the ice here in this consolidation and an inability to reclaim that level, this red ice level, it's not looking good for BNB. It needs to rally. It needs to get back above 270 in order to recoup the losses and get back into the positive price structure for this to begin to turn around and just hold its value. If it's able to do that, then hey, congratulations CZ on successfully making the markets. But yeah, I believe that the market will be true and just, and this will go to zero as it deserves. All right, interesting one here. Bitcoin Cash got a big sign of strength move out of this consolidation. Now, sign of strength. What part of the market cycle are we in right now? We're in the accumulation phase. This is phase one of the bull market. This is late stage accumulations. If you're not accumulating, well, I can't really tell you what to do, but you got to do it when nobody else wants to. That's what makes people money, is doing things that nobody else wants to do. Sign of strength. What's going to be the narrative moving forward? So let's think about Bitcoin for a second. What's going to be the big Bitcoin narrative? High fees. High fees are not going away. High fees are only going to get more expensive. High fees are actually going to get ridiculous. If you think the Ethereum network is expensive during a bull market, ho boy. Just wait until you see $500 transaction fees for transferring Bitcoin. There will be huge narratives, massive, huge narratives saying that Bitcoin is broken and that we need to look at other chains. So Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, Satoshi's Vision, these are all good candidates to play that cycle narrative while people are convincing themselves that Bitcoin's a failed project and they go to cheaper coins. So that's going to be a big narrative this cycle, a very big narrative this cycle. So any of those coins that offer cheaper fees on their own proof of work blockchain, I think are going to be solid plays. So in line with that, Dogecoin could be another one. Currently not showing a lot of strength at all, so we're just going to move on. Doge is bottoming if you're the type to buy Doge. I mean, it looks to be at the bottom, so do with that what you will. Hex is a scam. Litecoin's showing a little bit more of a grind up at this level. It's not as impulsive as what we saw with Bitcoin Cash, but it's holding this level quite well. You know, every time we get below 100, every time we get below 90, it seems to rally back above, but it's spending a lot of time in this area trying to make up its mind if it's going to go for a rally. Litecoin community is a lot stronger than some of the other communities like Bitcoin Cash and Satoshi's Vision. So they could surely be a good cheerleaders in the right market conditions, but ultimately, you know, just like the internet, we all use one internet. I don't personally see the need for multiple blockchains. We just need to build layers on top, which will be made. Solana, snooze fest, who cares? XRP. God, I got to be careful when I get on these live streams. You guys know what I think about XRP, but my opinions aside, this is a sign of strength. This is a Wyckoff accumulation with an SOS. Let's label it. SOS, baby, sign of strength. All right. So what comes after the sign of strength is usually a backup phase. So we could be looking at a backup phase potentially to the 56-cent level, get a little bit of a consolidation. I'm sure you heard they won the lawsuit. It was a silly lawsuit. It's a silly project with a silly lawsuit. So the market got very excited that the lawsuit was dismissed. But the fundamentals of XRP haven't changed. So we're going to have to consolidate a little bit because the fundamentals are, like I mentioned at the beginning of the show, is volumes very, very low. Participation's very, very low. A lot of the market participants who are currently here are either savvy individuals, smart money, who know when to deploy, know where to deploy, and know how to, fix price in their direction. And retail investors from the previous cycle who are just tapped out and fatigued and tired and not willing to deploy large amounts of capital because they lost so much from the previous cycle. Okay, so the dumb money is here. They just don't have any money. So we need prices to go up to bring new dumb money into the ecosystem so that the smart money like BlackRock and all the institutions that are going to be in this cycle who have probably already accumulated can sell their bags to the dumb money when that time comes. All right, so that's all the major cryptos that I wanted to take a look at here on the stream. Go ahead and spam your tickers if you guys want me to take a look at anything specific. But I want to take a look at Track. So we talked about Track last week on the stream. It was at around 25 cents when we talked about it. It was back here. Is that? Yeah. It was 20-something cents. 20-something cents. Now it's over 100% higher from that, and it got nearly 200% higher from when we were looking at it. I didn't buy any. I told you my plan last week was to get down into the green wave. You can see my little target here. This target keeps getting farther and farther away from price, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to FOMO in, and neither should you. You should realize that, in trading, you're not always going to get the coins you want. You're not always going to get the entries you want. And the important thing to really focus on is just a plan. So if you don't have a plan, feel free to join the Discord. Links below, and we can kind of teach you how to develop a trading strategy and a trading plan. And on top of that, you can go ahead and check out blackbox.com, blackbox.pro, and sign up for our free Bitcoin trading bot. So this is 100% free. All that we ask is that you trade, if you're going to use the bot on an exchange, that you use our partner links. Free Bitcoin trading bot. It's a pretty sweet deal. Our strategy, historically speaking, has outperformed Bitcoin by over 2,000%. That is in relation to holding. So hodling Bitcoin from last cycle to this cycle has yielded you a couple 100%. Blackbox has done leaps and bounds above that. I'm not saying put all your money into it. I'm just saying use it as a tool to up your percentage points on your portfolio. So yeah, go ahead and check out blackbox.pro, email and password, and you're good to go. All right. Track. Let's talk about the fundamentals of Track for those who didn't know. Bitcoin ordinal space is developing rapidly. If you are sleeping on ordinals, fucking wake up. Wake the fuck up, because your opportunity is here and now. It is in ordinals. It is in DeFi on Bitcoin. Wake the fuck up. Not even joking, okay? Do your own research. There's little research to be done at this point. A lot of people are just aping into stuff and hoping for the best. It's kind of its own ICO craze at the moment. It's a lot of vaporware. It's a lot of promises and not a lot of actual products being delivered. But one of the coins that's very, very important is Track. Track is the equivalent of Chainlink on Ethereum, okay? It is going to index data. It is going to bring price data into the blockchain on the Bitcoin network so that we can build DeFi applications. If they do what they say they are going to do, it's going to be the same as Chainlink, okay? Not only is it like Chainlink, but because of the way the Bitcoin network is designed, inscriptions allow you to query programs and data on the blockchain, much like the graph. So it's kind of like Chainlink and the graph combined. It's a pretty important infrastructure play. Infrastructure is kind of a snooze fest. Nobody really cares. You know, it's just nerdy, technical data querying stuff. But it's very important infrastructure that needs to be built so that all of the projects that you're familiar on the Ethereum network and, you know, all the other networks can be built. Because right now on the Bitcoin network, really all that we have is NFTs, NFT marketplaces. There is BRC20 swaps coming very, very soon. But for the most part, we don't have sophisticated DeFi applications. If Track is able to fully implement a protocol native indexer, you're going to start to see some of those applications come online. So you're going to get the Uniswaps, you're going to get the Aave, you're going to get the Sushi Swap, you're going to get all of these different apps that you saw in the previous cycle on Ethereum. You'll get a similar version of that coming over to Bitcoin. So pretty important project, which is why it has a lot of hype, which is why it keeps heading up in price. But there's just no good risk to reward here. It's got to come down. I'm not saying it has to because of any analysis. I'm saying it has to, for me to buy, come down to this area, which, you know, this will trend up. This is not a stationary target. So my target will rise as price rises. So as price continues to rise, man, I'm really good at lines today. Eventually, it'll come down and meet that price. It always does. It always will. So I'll just wait for that price to be realized. And a lot of the hype will be over at that point. So, you know, it'll be a good time to buy. It's too hyped right now for me to feel that I have a good risk to reward with it. All right, SoFi in traditional, a Wyckoff accumulation. Let's take a look at SoFi. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Looks like a Wyckoff accumulation to me. With the sign of strength and the breakout beautifully kissing right on the $8 level, currently at 9. If we get the break past the sign of strength, so break past 1025, it's probably going to rally. What does this thing do? SoFi Technologies. You know I'm not a stock guy, but yeah, it's a pretty picture-perfect Wyckoff accumulation right there. It looks great. Back to the BRC20s. Let's take a look at ORD. ORD still range-bound in the unfavorable part of the range. We're in the upper part of the range. No new entries. Wave is also red on alphanumerics, so our bias is bearish on ORD. Let's take a look at meme. Meme is a meme. It's a shitty meme coin, but I ended up with a bunch of it when BRC20 when the BRC20 mania was happening and everybody was minting all their free BRC20 tokens. I minted a shit ton of these just because it was mania. But anyways, this is still in the accumulation phase right now. We're bearish on it. The market indicators are red. The bear market indicator is red, and it is ferocious. So no bueno on that one. Not looking to accumulate any of those prices. Pepe, similar story, coming down, trending to the bottom. There's a little bit of confusion with this one, mainly because the Pepe that everybody was crazy about happened on the Ethereum network. This is a Pepe on the Bitcoin network. They're both useless. They're both stupid meme coins. But maybe there's a battle of who's the real Pepe. If this begins to rally and really build steam, then maybe a lot of the foolish sheep who bought the other Pepe will sell their Pepe and head into this Pepe. I don't know. It's the meme coins. You never really know what they're going to do. Those people are a special breed. BIP, don't even know what this one is. Yeah, that's pretty much it as far as my list of the BRC20 tokens. Now, BRC20 tokens, there's a shit ton of them. Most of them, like I said, are vaporware. They don't really do anything just yet. Part of the reason that they don't do anything is because we're waiting for Track to do something. So keep an eye on Track. Keep an eye on the fundamentals of the Track project, because if they get an indexer created, we're going to really start to see a lot of interesting projects come online. And we're going to have DeFi. We're going to have DeFi on Bitcoin. All right. That is all the time I have for today. If you guys enjoyed this content, please leave it a like. Don't forget to subscribe. And please go check out blackbox.pro. Free for you trading bot. Outperform the market with Bitcoin. No leverage. No leverage. Using Bitcoin. Outperform the market over the long run. Now, I will say this is a different trading bot than most other trading bots. This is kind of the strategy that we've been teaching for years. The problem with the strategy is not a lot of people follow it because it's so slow. The signals are so few and far between. But I'm telling you, the compounding returns of this is incredible. Actually, before I go, why don't I just show you some of those compounding returns? Why don't I just show you? So let's say, a lot of people might be from the 2017 run, right? So let's turn on Blackbox. And let's go to 2017 on Blackbox. Let's say you bought the tippy top. Let's say you put 10 grand in Blackbox at the tippy top of 2017. Let's go to, and you put in 10 grand. 10 grand into Blackbox at the tippy top of the bull market cycle in 2017. Why am I going back so far? Because like I said, it's a slow bot. It's a long-term accumulation bot. And it requires time to compound the trades. It needs to compound the trades. Why don't we do shittier low market cap altcoins? Because they move too fast for the strategy. Bitcoin moving slow is a benefit for this strategy. It's not a bug. Okay, we've optimized this strategy for Bitcoin. So 10 grand put into Blackbox in 2017 would net you $1.2 million in 15 trades. 80% profitability with a 2.71 profit factor. That's very high. And the average trade yielding you $83,000. So yeah, go check it out. Hop into the Discord, ask questions. We are launching tomorrow. So tomorrow is when this actually goes live. We're both very excited. It's going to be me and Matt on the channel fielding all of your questions and getting the team all hyped up and ready to offer this product that we've been working the last 9 months for you guys to try it out. We think you're really going to like it, and we think it's going to be a part of your long-lasting investment portfolio. So yeah, that's all the time I got for today. Please, until next time, trade safe. It is a jungle out there. Peace.